welcome back to the podcast. Still the start of 2024, so we're going to do a bit of planning. Probably what we need to do for our podcast too, because we've been a bit too many freestyles, but like that sort of planning period for how to plan out your 2024, probably starting with like your big goals.
Yep.
And then like your long-term plan, and then breaking it up into sort of shorter term, and then probably something that I'm going to try and do a bit better this year is just tracking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we tracked any of our workouts last year, but like if we had to look back on it, it'd be good to like know those things as well.
See the data.
And I think that's important. I was doing some business things or watching a business video on YouTube and how they broke this was to do like a spreadsheet with Facebook ads and making sure you're checking the numbers.
Yep.
Because if things do go wrong with training as well, then you
Yep.
can look back and sort of your data and be like, oh, okay.
This is what happened here.
Yeah.
This is what happened here. Yeah.
Or then if you do get injured, okay, I need to go probably 2 weeks back before going, instead of just kind of hit that heavy weight as well and then re-injure yourself, or you can just look at that volume a little bit better.
Yeah, nice.
So it's just sort of taking that extra 5 minutes to pull out the phone, put it in your notes or your spreadsheet, or set it up first.
How are you thinking of you putting the data, and you're just going to do notebooks?
I think Google Sheets.
Yeah.
I've used that. I'm pretty good at that.
It's pretty easy to use.
But notes is good too.
Yeah.
Even if I used to track all those ladder sets we're doing.
Yeah.
Just the reps, so I know my sort of PBs and what I need to.
Yeah, that was cool. Well. And I took that little habit on board too, because I'd watch you finish your last set, and then you sit down, whack out your phone, and then write down how many reps you did, and you just compared it the week before.
It's just those little things to take your training to that next level as well, I think. And then like sort of the planning around that. So how do you like to plan your training? So from now, and then how do you look at the long term over the year to the short term, et cetera, et cetera?
For me, New Year's came. I really wanted to dial into getting my weight down. So the first thing that I really wanted to finish was 75 hard again. So I've always drawn back to that only because it's worked for me before. That's been the biggest thing for me to start the year, bro. So a lot of the goals that I have, I feel like if I focus on them too much, even though a lot of my stuff is around my training, I feel like if I go too far ahead, then, I tend to get lost in the noise and I can overcomplicate things for myself. But yeah, doing 75 hard was the first thing, and completing that. And then just getting into my mobility, like I said last year, I think was the biggest thing. Being able to hit my couch stretch fluidly for 2 minutes has been, high on the priority. And then, like I said, the other one off the back of 75 hard is getting my body weight down and my body fat percentage to a certain percentage as well. But yeah, I want to track all that stuff. I've kept it pretty simple, bro. I'll be tracking my body weight over the days. So every morning I wake up, I go straight into the toilet. I'll obviously go do my number 1, number 2, and then I'll write down my weight after I've weighed myself in. That's an easy way for me to track myself. And then on the back of that, it's just getting the 75 hard list done, every day. And that's how I'm, tracking myself over these next couple of weeks.
So 2 workouts, water,
2
reading.
workouts, reading.
Anything else?
Taking a photo of yourself, 10 pages of reading. Sorry, you mentioned that. 3.7 liters of water. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So that's the big thing for me, bro. Like, it works for me. I need to keep it simple. Otherwise, I complicate things way too much, and I get ahead of myself way too much. So, 75 hard's been the big focus for the start of the year.
Where do you usually hiccup on 75 hard? Oh, used to anyway.
Used to was always alcohol. Always, bro.
But it's totally out of your life now, isn't it?
Non-existent pretty much, bro. So, now it's just, I used to have this thing where I had to overwork myself, sticking to a strict plan of 45 minutes for my workouts. What might that look like? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do the same shit every day, every session. Maybe like a lower body weight session, and then I'll just mix in with some chin-ups and push-ups. And it's worked for me before, and I'm just going to keep dialing it further on. I'm trying to hold that for the whole year, bro. The same sessions, just repetitive. And like you said, man, just taking check of how many reps I do, and just increasing that volume every week.
I think that's why it's so popular, because it just gives you the 5 things that you need to do every day, which ticks off the accountability and consistency factor of what every program's sort of based upon.
Yeah.
And it just simplifies everything.
When I did it in 2021, it was just simple for me, bro. And I sort of listened to you straight after it. You were like, bro, you should be just doing this fucking shit every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'll try something else. I'll try something new. I'll try and invent my own thing. Just got to keep to something simple and just continuously do it.
Just the 365 hard.
That's it, bro.
And are you going to continue on with the different phases? How do they work again? 75?
So you got 75 hard, and then you've got phase 1, and phase 1 is just an increase. Oh no, it's the same thing again for another 30 days, and then you've got your critical tasks, a power list of 5 things, your ice bath.
That's the one we did, the critical tasks, and ours were too hectic.
Way too hectic, bro. Overwhelmed. Well, I know I overwhelmed myself.
Yeah.
It was a bit too much. So the critical tasks, and then you've got the visualization, which was cool. I've never done that before. 10 minutes of it every day. Just visualizing, where you want to be or who you want to be. And I think that's it. And that goes for 30 days. So that's the last time I did it, was 105 days straight. And then, life just got in the way after that. And I never really finished the Live Hard program.
Yep. And then do you track that by the app or?
App.
Yeah.
Best way to do it. Download 75 Hard app. I think it costs $7
Yep.
or $8. It's just, every morning and every night I wake up, and that's how I track things.
So that sort of goes back to sort of that planning. Your first 75 days is good.
Yeah. The first 75 days is going to be rock solid. And then I'm going to continue on doing the phase 1. So 105 days of my year, 365 days of the year is already sorted. And like I said to you, I'm going to keep the trainings on Tuesday and Thursday with me and you. That doesn't change. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my sessions that I always do. And then the weekends are just freehand, just like freestyle. Yep. I might just fucking go out in the backyard and do pancake for 45 minutes. But I just like to keep that free, just so it just frees up the mind a little bit as well.
I think that's when some people fall off that second 45, that maybe they can't do a 45-minute walk that they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They need that second option of just going outside and doing something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what I meant by overwhelming myself. I feel like I was flogging myself the first time I did 75 hard, and that's why I couldn't maintain it. And there were some sessions where I'll just be knackered, and then I'd go and do the same thing 2 hours later. It just doesn't work. Sometimes walking again is going to be the best option.
Yeah, because especially when you're doing 75 days in a row, you can't do 75 days in a row super hard. You're going to fatigue at certain times. So that walk, but even like that outside stretch, is a good alternative. I find a lot of people that I've spoken to fall off 75 hard just because they haven't planned what they're going to do. They have it planned, but then they don't have plan B in the back tank.
We know what works for me, bro. Like, I have a list of things that I can do outside.
Yep.
Whether it's a skipping session or whether it's a push-up session or a mobility session, I'll have a list of them on my board out in the fucking garage. And if I don't want to use this, I'll just walk outside and be like, what can I do outside that's not really, really high maintenance? Something that I can just do that's low frequency that's going to help me get through the session. And then I'll just pick one and I'll just go out and do it.
Yeah, I find a lot of people are falling off because they lose that motivation.
Yeah.
And that's when if you got discipline or not, because the motivation is gone at the start of the year, and then that's when your sort of discipline kicks in. And then people who are trying to train for perfect conditions. Yeah, they're fine in perfect conditions, but throw a little spatter in the works and everything goes out of whack. But you got to plan for that as well. Yeah. You got to have sessions available that you can do when, I don't know, someone passes away.
That's the biggest one, really.
That is a tough one. I don't mind if you go off, depending how close they are, obviously.
Yep.
But not the second or third cousin down the line.
No, doesn't matter, bro.
Doesn't matter, bro. Cousin, they've seen once every 10 years.
Or fucking baby's mum and sister's fucking aunties. Yeah. No.
Or like something like that, or you get COVID, sickness, or anything happens, you lose your job. You got to have when shit hits the fan, you got to have a session available that you can still get done.
It's good practice too, bro. I think shit always hits the fan every year. Something happens. Like last year was my dad getting sick, and although I didn't realize it actually did affect me, But I went away from the drawing board, and the drawing board is what I'm doing right now, bro. The same shit, walking every day and doing one workout. And, you know, if it is, you know, I'll give you an example. When I went up there and I stopped, I realized that it was really easy for me to stop only because I didn't have a plan. I wasn't prepped for what I can do in a hospital and what I can do around the hospital. Like, I wasn't spending fucking half a day with my dad, you know, but I was using that as an excuse to not get my training sessions done. Then I realized the next day I woke up and I was like, oh, I can go for a walk for 45 minutes, 22 minutes there. And I'd stop, turn around and walk back for 22 minutes, and that's 45 minutes. And then I'd just do a stretch session next to my dad's bed. Fuck, that's it, man.
Yep.
But that's the sort of things that, like you're saying, the preparation that needs to be done.
Yeah, if you want to make excuses, it's easy to come up with them.
So easy.
I had someone yesterday say it was a hassle to open up the mobility app. It was stressful.
Bro, it's the most low frequency thing I've ever done, bro. It's easier to open up that than to open up Instagram.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get so like soft and so comfortable in life that like we think hard work is hard work, but compared to things that are hard, it's not even close. And then I think like training helps us, you know, get a bit uncomfortable with things.
Yeah.
Today was uncomfortable, that session.
Yeah, it's a hard session, eh? Like I was said to you, bro, I was like, fuck, I haven't sweated this much in ages. It's like, for me, it's the equivalent for us doing our ladders. I didn't know what was harder. But yeah, I really enjoyed that.
There was no rest day. We're just pumping through that session. It was good.
I think I like it, bro. I think that 3 person rotation's good to have. You know, if you've got 3 mates or 2 other mates plus yourself, going to you know, using your mates' work sets as your rest fucking works. You just get a good rest time, I think. It's like close to that 90-second mark and you're just fucking pumping. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, I thought that worked well just with the machine stuff. I actually got a bit of a spanner in the works with that calf. I had my Monday sessions and Fridays and a little bit of Wednesday. So all my lower bodies are out of whack because I can't put weight through my calf. I can just walk, and you probably saw me limp a little bit. It was that bad. And so yeah, I went back to mobility. I did leg extensions, machines. I did what else did I do on Monday? Did a calf rehab to start. Did my shoulder rehab stuff, and then mobility to finish. Did middle splits.
Oh, mad.
Yeah, so that was cool. Done horse.
So just sort of working around it, you know, not fucking banging on it, but working around the calf.
Yeah, just fuck. There's heaps of things to do, bro. You got like so many muscles and joints in your body that, yeah, one muscle not working is not an excuse to not do anything type thing. And yeah, I can't tell my clients that fuck your injury. Just train around that. Where if I didn't do that myself, so I always like being a practitioner of my own words and my own sort of system and how I try and coach clients as well. If I'm going to hold them accountable, I better be accountable to myself as well.
Yeah, it's a fair point too, bro. And like that's what brings you back to what I'm trying to achieve with what I'm doing. I'm very focused, even though I'm following 75 hard, and even though, you know, we're going to start tracking the data. There's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday sessions are the same, and I've done it specifically like that just to show people how much you actually don't need to do in order to get results. You know, and the focus should be all with the food and that brings you back to what you're just saying. You know, I tell people all the time, you don't need to train too hard to get good results. You know, if you just train strength and get mobile, you can get results from it. But people just want that fucking quick fix, and they want to smash themselves just like in 75 hard, overwhelm themselves, and fall off the bandwagon. But with what I'm doing, you know, if I can maintain the sessions that I'm doing even after 75 hard's done or 105 days, and I continuously keep doing it, at the end of 365 days, I can look back and be like, I've done the same shit for a whole fucking year. And that's the difference between me and you.
Yeah, people look at Instagram and see the hard out workouts and how they train and how they eat. But then people are that out of shape that they don't need that high stimulus to begin with. No. You know, they can just start nice and easy and just be consistent. I find people are not being consistent enough at all. And then they fall off. And then when they start again, they're like, oh, let's go find something new that's easier that I like.
I need to go and do this.
That's not the problem. The problem is you're not sticking to it consistently.
Yeah, you're the problem. You know, and I think if you can just figure that out fast, you know, take a good hard look at yourself, lose the ego a bit, think you'd be right.
Yeah. Thinking of a couple of things that we wanted to achieve by, I'm going to Bali, so maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks' time?
Yeah.
For me, couch stretch. I want that standard, bro.
Yep.
Back to wall. I haven't hit it since last year. And, the reason, my excuse has been because I haven't been doing it enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But, that's for my...
I just hit my calf rehab every day.
Yep.
The boring stuff that I need to get done so I can do other things.
I'll put it as a reminder for myself every day in my phone. I'll wake up, I'll do my weigh in, I'll go straight outside, and I'll hit the garage and do 4 to 5 minutes on each leg.
Yep.
Done.
Done.
Thank you, Cuzzy.